Hi guys! In this video, we will be discussing capacitors, capacitance, charge, and voltage. So itong tatlong pictures na to ay nagpapakita ng capacitor. So pag sinabi natin capacitor, madalas natin nakikita yan sa mga motherboard, ng mga computer natin. Yung parang bilog, yan, yung ganyang itsura. Yan, ang tawag dyan guys ay capacitor. Ngayon, ang isang capacitor ay nag-hold ng charge. So yung limit niya, na charge na kaya niyang i-hold, that is called capacitance. Ibig sabihin yung ability niya or capacity niya to hold charge. So, yun yung tinutukoy na capacitance. Okay? Ngayon, itong capacitor can be arranged in a series circuit or parallel circuit. So, pag sinabi nating series circuit, all components or all capacitors are connected end-to-end, forming a single path for current flow. So, isa lang yung path niya. Isa lang yung nagko-connect sa lahat ng capacitors and the source. Ito yung source, guys. Ito. Okay? Kapag sinabi namang parallel circuit, from the word parallel, all components are connected across each other, forming exactly two sets of electrically common points. So, ibig sabihin, kapag parallel, magkakaparallel silang ganyan. So, parang nahahati siya, guys. Nahahati yung wire niya ng pag ganito, pag ganon, tsaka depende kung ilan yung binigay na capacitor. So, ganyan ang itsura ng parallel, ganito ang itsura ng series. Pag series, isang flow lang, single path. Pagka parallel, nahahati siya at ang itsura niya, parallel sila with each other. Okay? Sa physics, makikita nyo guys, ang itsura ng mga diagram kapag ka-series ay ganito, ang itsura naman ng parallel ay ganyan. Okay? So, ito yung source, yung nakikita natin na itong symbol na to, those are source. Ibig sabihin, dyan manggagaling yung charge na i-distribute niya to each of the capacitor. Ito yung mga capacitor, guys. So, ito, ang given na to is series, tapos may tatlong capacitor. Ito naman, parallel to. Ito yung source niya. And then, ito yung mga capacitor. So, tatlo. Okay? So, yan yung mga symbol sa physics. Yan yung diagram. Okay? Now, let us have the meaning of capacitance, charge, and voltage. So, pag sinabi natin capacitor, yun yung pinakita ko sa inyong picture kanina. A capacitor is used to store electric charge. So, yung kada isang yun, for example, sa computer nyo, yung kada isang yun, na makikita nyo na capacitor, they are storing electric charge. Each of them are storing electric charge. Depende, yung ini-store nila, depende sa dami, or depende sa capacitance, yung kanilang ini-store na electric charge, okay? So, the more voltage, yung voltage, guys, yan yung electrical pressure, okay? So, the more voltage you apply to the capacitor, the more charge is stored in the capacitor. Ibig sabihin, pagka mas mataas yung voltahe, ibig sabihin, mas mataas or mas marami yung mai-store dun sa capacitor na electric charge, okay? Now, also, the higher the capacitance of the capacitor, the more charge may be stored in by a given voltage. Itong voltage, guys, parang ito yung ito yung pressure na nararamdaman ng isang capacitor kapag pumapasok sa kanya or nag-i-store sa kanya yung charge. So, kapag mas mataas yung capacitance ng isang capacitor, mas maraming charge yung mai-store sa kanya na binibigay nitong voltage. Okay? So, ito yung difference ng tatlong to. Okay? Yung capacitance, ito yung ability or capacity ng isang capacitor to store charge. Yung charge naman, yun yung nai-store sa loob ng capacitor. Yung voltage naman, yun yung electrical pressure na nag-i-store doon sa capacitor. Okay? So, pagka-series, guys, yung inyong circuit, ito yung gagamitin yung mga rules. Ibig sabihin, ang pag-compute ng total capacitance of the whole circuit is reciprocal. So, 1 over C1 plus 1 over C2 plus 1 over C3 hanggang, depende kung ilan ang binigay na capacitor. Okay? And then, kapag ka-series, equal yung charges niya. Ibig sabihin, yung natatanggap na charges nitong mga capacitor ay same lang. Kapag ka-parallel naman, ang pag-compute ng total capacitance is just addition. Ibig sabihin, i-add mo lang lahat ng capacitance ng mga capacitors and that would be the total capacitance. Ngayon, yung voltage naman ang equal. So, ibig sabihin, kung ano yung voltage ng source, yun yung matatanggap na electrical pressure or voltage ng lahat ng capacitors. Okay? So, ang general formula na kailangan yung tandaan for series and parallel is Q or charge is equal to C times V. Or charge is equal to capacitance multiplied by voltage. Guys, huwag kayo malilito between capacitance at saka charge. Baka kasi yung letter C ay ma-associate nyo sa word na charge. Hindi. Yung C dyan, capacitance ang ibig sabihin yan. Okay? So, ito yung symbol, ito yung name, and then ito yung units natin. Okay? So, C is for capacitance. Ang unit ng capacitance is farads. Okay? And then yung Q is yung charge, yung nai-store sa loob ng capacitor. So Q is for charge, ang unit niya ay coulombs. And then V is the voltage or the electrical pressure. And then ang unit niya ay volts. Okay? Para mas maintindihan nyo, itong rules na to for series and parallel circuit. So let us have the first example. Okay, given 3 capacitors and a total electric potential of 150 volts, find the capacitance, voltage, and charge of the circuit. So, ito guys, pwede nating tawagin na capacitance 1, ito, capacitance 2, or capacitor 2, and then ito, pwede nating tawagin na yung third capacitor. Okay, so meron tayong 3 capacitors dito, and then ito yung source, which has a total electric potential of 150 volts. So, dyan manggagaling yung mga charges na ipapasa dito sa tatlong capacitors na to, na mag-i-store ng charges. So, ito yung, binigay na yung tatlong capacitance niya, which are 2 farad, ito yung capacitor 1, and then capacitor 2 has 5.0 farad capacitance, and then ito naman si capacitor 3 ay 3 farads of capacitance. Okay? So, itong lahat ng to guys, ang gawin nyo na lang kapag ganito nagsosolve kayo ng capacitance, ng voltage, at saka ng charge, gawa kayo ng table para mas madali nyong maintindihan. Okay? At madali nyong ma-complete lahat ng values. So, unahin nyo palagi si total capacitance, sunod nyo si total charge, at saka si total voltage. Okay? Tapos yung individual capacitance. So, yan, yung capacitance. Tapos, individual charges of each capacitor. So, Q1, Q2, Q3, at saka yung voltage 1, voltage 2, tsaka voltage 3. Okay? Ibig sabihin nito guys, yung voltage or electrical pressure na nararamdaman ng first capacitor, ito second capacitor, ito third capacitor, yung voltage niya. Okay? So, kasi sa kada isang capacitor, guys, halimbawa, itong capacitor na to, meron siyang capacitance, meron siyang voltage, meron siyang charge. So, yung nai-store sa kanya na charge, yung electrical pressure na nararamdaman niya, at saka yung capacitance niya. So, sa kada isang capacitor, meron tatlong values. Dito, sa second capacitor, merong C2 dyan, merong voltage din, meron ding charge. Itong C3, meron din yang capacitor 3, meron yang voltage, meron din siyang charge. So, lahat ng yan. Tapos, ito yung total, yung source. Okay? So, nandito si total capacitance, nandito si total charge, at saka si total voltage. Okay? Kumbaga yung totality ng buong circuit nitong tatlong to. Okay? So, let us have, ito given na to, si first capacitance. So, ang capacitance nung first capacitor is 2 farad. Ito si capacitance 2 ay 5 farad. Ibig sabihin, ito yung second capacitor. Ang capacitance niya ay 5 farad. And then si third capacitor, 3 farad yung kanyang capacitance. Okay? So, let us have yung total capacitance. Unahin nyo palagi yung total capacitance kasi ang ibibigay sa inyo palagi ay capacitance of each capacitors. Okay? So, ito, may tatlong capacitors tayo dito. Okay? So, ang total capacitance ng series, kasi series to guys, so yun muna pala ang una nyong gagawin, is to identify whether the given circuit is a series or parallel circuit. In this case, ito ay series. Obviously, series yan. Kasi isa lang yung kanyang path. Single path siya. So, itong given natin ay series. Ulitin ko, kapag ka-series, ito yung gagamitin nyo. Ito. Ayan. Okay? Kapag ka-parallel, ito. So, ang pag-compute ng total capacitance of series is this one. Okay? So, gagayahin natin yan. So, we will have 1 over total capacitance para ma-compute natin tong total capacitance is equal to, so 1 over C1 or first capacitance plus 1 over C2 plus 1 over C3. Hanggang C3 lang kasi tatlo lang naman yung ating capacitors dito. Okay? So, total capacitance is equal to, so ganito ang pag-compute palaging naka-reciprocal pagka series guys ha. So, 1 over C1 natin is 2. So, 1 half plus 1 fifth yung ating C2. And then plus 1 over capacitance 3 is 3. Okay? So, ang gawin nyo dyan guys, kuha kayong calcu. Ayan. Sorry. Ayan. Kuha kayong calculator. And then input nyo lang sa calcu as is. So, 1 half. Add nyo siya. Okay? 1 half plus 1 fifth plus 1 third. Okay? Equals. So, ang sagot, lalabas ay 31/30. Okay? Now, kapag ang calculus nyo guys ay walang fraction, so for example, siyempre dito sa Philippines, hindi naman lahat tayo ay nakakagamit na may fraction na calculus. So, kung ang calculus nyo ay without fraction, kasi may mga calculus yung ganun guys, yung walang fraction na option dito. So, ang gawin nyo ganito. Enclose nyo to sa parenthesis. So, magiging 1 divided by 2. Ayan, ito. Plus 1 divided by 5 plus 1 divided by 3. Ayan, ganito i-input. Yan, i-input nyo na pag ganito. Pag ang calculus nyo walang fraction. So, ganito ang pag-input. So, 1 divided by 2, close parenthesis, plus, kasi plus yan. And parenthesis 1 divided by 5, plus, and then parenthesis 1 divided by 3. Okay? Pag equals nyo guys, dun sa mga calculus na walang fraction, pag equals nyo, hindi lalabas yan. Ang lalabas, nakadecimal. Okay? So, pag equals nyo, so pagka-input nyo yan, i-equals nyo siya. Okay? And then, ang lalabas ay decimal. So, ang lalabas dyan ay 1.033333. Okay? So, para makuha nyo tong fraction na to guys, pindutin nyo, okay, press nyo yung, nandito siya guys, banda. Kasi nakalagay dyan shift, and then dito nakalagay x raised to negative 1. Doon sa mga calculus walang fraction ha. Tapos dito nakalagay ABC. So, pindutin nyo yung A. Yung nakikita nyong button na ganyan. So, i-press nyo yan, guys. Pag na-press nyo yan, lalabas ito. Lalabas siya. So, lalabas yung 31/30. Okay? Kailangan kasi naka-fraction. Okay? Mas madaling naka-fraction. So, paglabas nyan, so, ito na siya. Okay? So, hindi pa yan ang final answer natin. Yung mga may fraction na calculus, like this one, madali siya kasi as is. Lalabas siya na naka-fraction. So, ang gagawin nyo, i-reciprocal nyo lang yan. So, babaligtarin nyo to. Siyempre, ito guys ay 1 over total capacitance. Ang kukunin natin kasi is yung capacitance. So, i-reciprocal nyo siya, magiging capacitance over 1, which is total capacitance. Ayan. Pag ni-reciprocal nyo to, magiging CT over 1, which is equivalent to CT. Ayan. Makukuha na natin yung value ng CT. Ito yun. Okay? Equals. So, ito, instead of 31/30, magiging 30/31. Okay? Kaya ang total capacitance, so, clear lang natin, magiging 30/31. So, pag equals nyo, ayan, so 0.97. Okay? So, the answer is 0.97 farads. Ibig sabihin, yung total capacitance ng buong circuit na to is 0.97 farads. Ito naman, yung 2 farads na to, yan lang yung capacitance ng first capacitor. Ito yung second capacitor. Ito yung third capacitor, yung capacitance niya. Okay? Now, let us have yung ibang values na charge at saka yung voltage. So, nagbigay siya ng total electric potential of 150 volts. So, ayan nga, ito na yung total volts or total voltage. So, dito nyo siya ilalagay. Okay? Now, kapag binalikan natin yung notes natin kanina, ang gagamitin yung formula is the Q is equal to CV. Okay? So, dito, pwede natin kuhain yung QT. Okay? Or yung total charge kasi meron tayong C sub T at saka V sub T. Kapag kino-compute nyo guys, yung Q sub T, ang isa-subscript nyo sa lahat ay letter T. Ganun siya. So, kapag kino-compute nyo yung Q sub 1, Q sub 1 to 1 lahat. Kailangan pare-pareha sila ng subscript. Okay? Ibig sabihin, para computein yung Q sub 1 or yung charge ng first capacitor, ang gagamitin nyo is yung capacitance 1 at saka voltage 1. Ibig sabihin, yung capacitance at saka yung voltage ng first capacitor. Okay? So, kung sub 2 to, kung nakasubscript to ng 2, 2 lahat dapat yan. Okay? So, ang makukuha nating una dito is the value of total charge. So, Q sub T, and then ito, subscript din siya ng total. Okay? So, T rin. So, to get the total charge of the circuit, so ito yon C sub T, that is 0.97 times itong 150. Okay? So, ta-times lang natin yung dalawa. Ito kasi yung formula, guys, para makuha yung Q sub T or total charge. So, 0.97 times 150. So, the answer would be 145.5. So, 145.5 coulombs. Okay? So, ito ay 145.5 coulombs. Okay? Na ngayon, para makuha naman yung individual charges ng mga capacitor, okay, at saka yung individual voltages ng mga capacitor, susundin nyo lang ito. Okay? So, sa series, kasi nga, series yung ating example, okay, ang charges niya equal. So, ibig sabihin, kung ano yung charges, yung total charge, yun na rin yung charges nitong mga individual capacitor. So, ito ay 145.5 coulomb, 145.5 coulomb, at saka 145.5 coulomb. So, equal kasi. Kapag ka-series, guys, ha? So, sa series, equal yung Q sub T, Q sub 1, Q sub 2, at saka Q sub 3. Okay? Kapag ka-series. Dahil series tong circuit na to. Now, to get the voltages nitong mga each of the capacitors, na capacitor 1, 2, and 3, so gagamitin nyo pa rin tong formula na to. So, Q is equal to CV. So, since V ang hinahanap natin dito, pwede nating i-derive tong formula na to para makuha yung value ng V. Siyempre, divide both sides by C. So, ang formula ng V is equal to Q over C. Okay? Now, ang hinahanap natin dito is V1, V2, tsaka V3. So, unahin natin yung V1. So, ito na yung formula. V1. So, kung nakasubscript kayo ng 1, subscript nyo rin to ng 1. So, Q1 over C1. Okay? Yun para mahanap si V1. Okay? And then V sub 2, so kailangan nakasubscript din na to ng 2. So Q sub 2, C sub 2. And then for voltage 3, okay, Q sub 3, and then C sub 3. Okay? So unahin natin yung V sub 1. So Q1, 145.5 divided by yung sa C sub 1 na 2. Okay? Ito yon guys. Ito sila. Okay? So ang answer natin para sa voltage ng first capacitor is 72.75. Voltage. Okay? And then the next one is the second voltage. So, 145 Q sub 2.5 divided by 5. Okay? So, ang sagot is 29.1 voltage. And then the last one, so 145.5 divided by 3 or yung C3. So, ang answer is 48.5. So, 48.5 volts. Okay? So, ito na yung answer natin, guys. So, ito na yung mga values na kailangan dito sa circuit na to. So, ibig sabihin, ito yung total capacitance ng buong circuit. Ito yung total charge. Ito yung total voltage. Ito naman yung capacitance ng first capacitor. Tapos, ito yung charge ng first capacitor. Ito naman yung voltage ng first capacitor. Ito naman yung capacitance ng second capacitor. Ito yung charge ng second capacitor. And then, ito yung voltage ng second capacitor. And then, ito naman yung capacitance ng third capacitor. Ito yung charge ng third capacitor. And then, ito naman yung voltage ng third capacitor. Okay? Now, kung gusto nyo i-check kung tama itong nakuha nyong voltage dito sa ating series circuit, pwede nyong i-add to, guys. Kasi, pag in-add nyo yan, dapat equal dun. So, add natin 72.75 plus 29.1 plus 48.5. So, dapat equal yan dito. Ayun, most likely ha, kasi nag-round off na tayo. So, 150.35, ayan, equal yan dito sa 150 volts. Ibig sabihin, tama yung mga values na nakuha ninyo. Okay? Let us have the second example. So, given 3 capacitors and a total electric potential of 180 volts, find the capacitance, voltage, and charge of the circuit. So, again, mag-table kayo para hindi kayo malito. So, kunin natin yung total capacitance, yung total charge, at saka yung total voltage. And then, yung individual capacitance, ayan. And then, yung individual charges ng capacitors, at saka yung individual voltages ng each capacitors. Okay? Ayan. So, dito, guys, parallel siya. Okay? So, yung circuit natin dito is parallel. Hindi siya series. Okay? So, pagka-parallel, iba yung pagsasolve natin ng capacitance, ng total capacitance. So, nagbigay na siya ng each capacitance ng capacitors. So, ito ay 2, ito ay 3 farad, and then ito ay 5 farad. Ayan. So, 2, 3, and then 5 farads. Yung capacitance ng each of the capacitors. Now, to get the total capacitance of a parallel circuit, so kapag series, naka-reciprocal siya. Ayan, yung formula. Kapag parallel, guys, ang formula natin ay ito. So, pagka-parallel, ito naman yung gagamitin nyo. Okay? So, ang parallel, ang formula ng total capacitance is just simply addition. So, C1 plus C2 plus C3. Kasi nga, tatlo yung ating capacitors dito. So, 2 plus 3 plus 5. Simple as that. Kapag parallel. Okay? Kapag series, i-reciprocal nyo siya. So, ang total capacitance natin is 2 plus 3 plus 5. That is 10. So, 10 farad. So, yun yung total capacitance ng buong circuit na to. 10 farad. Okay? And then, the next one, nagbigay siya ng electric potential, which is 180 volts. So, 180, lagay na natin dito. Okay? And then, compute na natin yung Q, or yung total total charge, using the general formula, which is Q is equal to CV. But since we are talking about the total, lagyan nyo ng subscript na total. Ayan. So, total lahat. Okay? And then, Q sub T, so CT is 10. So 10 times yung voltage, total voltage na 180. So ang Q sub T natin is 1,800 volts. Okay? Ay, sorry, coulombs. Okay? So 1,800 coulombs. And now, balikan natin yung rule natin for parallel circuit. Sa parallel, ang equal ay yung voltahe, yung voltages. Okay? Sa series, ang equal ay yung Q sub T or yung charges. Okay? So dito sa parallel, since this circuit is a parallel circuit, equal yung charges niya. Ay sorry, yung voltage niya. So yung V1 or yung V sub T is equal to V1, V2, V3. So equal silang lahat. So ibig sabihin, pwede ko nang ilagay dito 180 volts, 180 volts, 180 volts. Okay? Kanina sa series, ito yung first example natin. Ang equal sa kanya ay charges. Doon sila nagkakabaligtad, guys. Dito, sa series, ang equal ay yung charges. Kapag ka naman parallel, ang equal ay yung voltage. Okay? So, kumpitin na natin yung kada isang charges nitong each of the capacitor. So, ang Q1, ano bang formula ng Q? That is CV. So, Q1, C1, V1. Sa Q2 naman, C2, V2. Sa Q3, we have C3, V3. Okay? So, basically, multiply nyo lang itong dalawa para dito sa Q1. So, 180 times 2, that is 360 volts. And then, 3 times 180 times 3 para sa Q2. So, 540 dito. Sorry, hindi volts to, guys. Coulombs. So, 540 coulombs. And then, yung ating charge ng third capacitor. So, 5 times 180. So, 900. Okay? Coulomb. So, here are our values. Ito na yung total capacitance, charges, total capacitance, charge, and voltage. Ito naman yung charge, at saka yung capacitance, yung charge, at saka voltage ng first capacitor. So, ito lahat, guys, ay yung first capacitor. Ito yung second capacitor. Ito yung third capacitor. Yan yung mga values. Ito total to. Okay? Next, let us have the next example. Given two capacitors, 3.5 farad and 4.2 farad, and a total electric potential of 200 volts, find all the following values if the capacitors is connected in a parallel circuit. So, parallel circuit daw to. Okay? So, nagbigay siya ng 2 capacitance of each capacitors. Dalawa lang yung capacitors natin. So, 3.5 farads and then 4.2 farads. Okay? So, sabi niya, parallel daw. So, again, kapag ka-parallel, paano natin kinocompute yung total capacitance kapag ka-parallel? So, just simply addition. So, C1 plus C2. Kasi dalawa lang naman yung capacitance na binigay. Okay? Dalawa lang yung capacitor. So, 3.5 plus 4.2. Okay? So, C sub T. Ayan. So, 3.5 plus 4.2. So, the answer is 7. Ayan, 7.7. Okay? So, 7.7 farad. Yun na yun, guys. So, 7.7 farad. Kasi parallel tayo. So, pag parallel, ang formula ng total capacitance is just addition of all the individual capacitance of each capacitors. Okay? So, yan na yung total capacitance. And then, nagbigay siya ng total electric potential of 200 volts. So, 200 volts. Again, kapag ka-parallel, ano ba yung equal natin? Yung equal natin ay yung mga voltages. So, VT is equal to V1 is equal to V2. Okay? Kasi dalawa lang naman. So, ibig sabihin, pwede ko nang ilagay dito 200 volts, 200 volts. Kasi equal, kapag ka-parallel, equal ang voltages. Okay? And then, ang compute naman natin is the Q total charge, and then charge ng first capacitor, and then charge ng second capacitor. So, ang formula ng Q is equal to CV. So, para makuha yan, etong dalawa, T, para man makuha yung Q sub 1, gagamitin nyo yung C1, V1, and then Q2 would be C2, V2. Okay? So, get the calculator. So, 7.7, dun muna tayo sa total charge dito sa Q sub T. So, 7.7 times yung volts na 200. So, 1,540 ano ba to? Coulombs. Okay? And then this one would be 3.5, yung Q sub 1, times 200 volts. So, 700 coulombs. And then the last one is 4.2. So, palitan ko lang to ng 4.2 times 200. So, 840 coulombs. So, yan na yun. Tapos na. Yan na yung mga values ng each of the capacitor and yung total niya. Okay? Now, if you want to check if your answer in this total capacitance is, total charge is correct, add nyo lang itong dalawa. Parang ginawa natin kanina. So, pag in-add nyo yan, 700 plus 840, ayan, dapat equal dito. Katulad nung kanina, hindi pala natin in-add, no? So, dito naman, since equal naman yung voltages, ang add nyo naman is yung Q. Itong mga Q na to. So, pag in-add nyo yan, dapat equal doon sa total. So, 360 plus 540 plus 900. Ayun, 1,800. Okay? Kanina, ang in-add natin, itong voltages. Ayan, dapat equal dito. Kasi, same lang naman yung charges dito. Kasi nga, series to guys. Ito parallel. Okay? Now, ito naman ay parallel. So, pag in-add nyo to, dapat yung charges equal dito sa total charge. Since equal yung kanyang voltages. Okay? Let us have the last example. So, given two capacitors, 3.5 farads and 4.2 farads, and the total charge of 1,500 coulomb, find all the following values if the capacitors is connected in a series. So, binigay niya yung circuit, which is series circuit daw, and then nagbigay siya ng 3.5 farad, and then 4.2 farad. Ayan, okay? And then, ang binigay niya, guys, total charge. Okay? So, ang total charge is 1,500 coulomb. So, instead of putting it here, dito natin lalagay. Yung kanina kasi ang binigay, total electric potential na volts. So, dito yon. Okay? Pag volts, sa voltage yon. Kapag nagbigay ng coulomb, sa charge na ilalagay. Okay? So, yan. Now, series to. So, paano tayo nagko-compute ng total capacitance ng series? Reciprocal. So, 1 over total capacitance is equal to 1 over C1 plus 1 over C2. Kasi dalawa lang naman to. Okay? So, 1 over total capacitance. So, 1 over 3.5 plus 1 over 4.2. Okay, so 1 over total capacitance. Ayan, so 1 over 3.5 plus 1 over 4.2. So, ang lalabas sa calcu natin is 11 over 21. Ayan. Guys, kung sakaling ang lumabas sa calcu nyo ay decimal, like this one. Ayan. Kunyari, 0.52. Pwede nyo naman ilagay 0.52. Ayan. Pero, gawin nyo rin siyang fraction. So, ang fraction nito, syempre, kung nakadecimal, lahat ng number ay may over 1. Okay? So, parang gaganyanin nyo lang siya. Ayan. Okay? Pagkatapos, hindi pa yan yung sagot. Diba? I-reciprocal nyo pa yan. So, ayan. So, reciprocal nito is 21 over 11. Tama? So, yan yung makukuha nating sagot. So, 21 divided by 11, that is 1.909090. Continuous na yan. So, gawin natin 1.91. So, ang sagot natin dito is 1.91 farads. Okay? Now, ito, kung ito yung gagamitin nyo, syempre, reciprocal nyo yan, magiging 1 over 0.52. So, ayun, same siya. 1.92 something, 1.91. So, dito na lang tayo sa una nating sagot na 1.91. So, 1.91 farad. Okay? So, fraction siya, i-reciprocal nyo siya. Okay? So, next one would be, ito, pwede natin kunin to. So, kapag ka-series, alam natin na ang equal niyan ay yung charges. Tama? So, yung QT or yung total charge ay equal yan sa Q sub 1 at saka sa Q sub 2. Ulitin ko lang, kapag ka-series, ang equal ay yung charges. Kapag ka-parallel, ang equal ay yung voltages. Okay? So, equal tong Q sub T dito sa mga to. So, pwede ko nang ilagay dito 1,500 coulomb, 1,500 coulomb. Kasi series naman siya. Okay? And then, to get the voltages of each of these capacitors and then yung total voltage, so, gamitin lang natin yung Q is equal to CV. Siyempre, V ang hinahanap natin. So, paano makuha yung V? Divide both sides by C. So, ang formula ng V ay Q over C. So, hanapin ko muna yung T. So, isa-subscript ko to sa T, yung total. Kapag ka naman yung V1, syempre, Q1 over C1. Kapag ka naman yung 2, Q2 over C2. Okay? So, get your calculator para sa total voltage. Dito muna tayo. So, yung Q muna, 1,500 divided by 1.91. So, the answer is 785.34. So, 785.34 volts. Okay? Next one is yung sa voltage ng first capacitor. Ito. Or yung V sub 1. So, 1,500 yung ating Q1 divided by C1, which is 3.5. So, the answer is 428.57. So, 428.57 volts. And then the last one is yung 1,500 divided by 4.2. So the answer is 357.14. So 357.14 volts. Okay? Now to check whether these answers are correct. So i-add nyo lang tong dalawang voltage na yan. So 428.57 plus 357.14. Dapat equal yan dun sa total voltage. Ayun. So more likely 785 point something. Magkakaiba man sila kasi nga nag-round off na tayo. Pero guys, hindi yan dapat magkalayo. Okay? So 785.71 equal yan dito. So 785.34. Okay? So that is how you get the capacitors, capacitance, voltage, and charge.